Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist here. Well, what do you think this is? Well, it's a powder and has kind of a grassy herbal uh, kind of smell to it. It has kind of a bitter taste to it. I know that. And well, this is Tribulus Terrestris powder. And this is a great muscle building and also libido building powder, and it's actually a wild thorny vine that grows around, and some people call it puncture vine. There are a lot of different varieties of it, so you want to make sure you get the right one, the Tribulus terrestris. It contains flavonoids and alkaloids and glycosides and lignans and saponins and all these great things for the body, and it works a lot on the liver. It regulates the male hormone testosterone naturally, and it can increase testosterone by up to 30%, even more. And instead of working on just the testes of the body themselves, this works on the liver, and that creates more luteinizing hormones from the liver, and which encourages the testes to create more testosterone. And it's a regulator of testosterone. If you're low on testosterone, it'll boost it up. If you're way too high, it's going to bring it down. But it works great, and most people are low, so it brings it up. Yeah, like I said, it's a really great as a liver tonic also for the liver, and which is a help. Everything has to go through our liver and be detoxed, so anything that can help the liver is a good thing. It's great for anybody that's 50 or older, and also works for women and men, and it helps with physical fatigue, and helps a person with sleep, and just those things that mount up upon us when we get older. I'm in my 60s, so I take this. You can see that I've used most of this, so I just got some more. It helps to regulate hormones in the body in general, and because we get older, that starts to get out of whack, and that needs to be adjusted. Creates better athletic performance and more sex drive, and builds better muscle mass in the body. And like I said, it works for both men and women. And some studies suggest it's a good androgen production or anabolic agent. And some weightlifters in some countries use it on a regular basis. It also helps to treat erectile dysfunction. As a side effect, it kind of helps with lowering cholesterol a bit and lowering blood pressure. Helps with angina. People who have angina, their heart causing pains, by opening and increasing circulation. It can increase more blood cell production for help with anemia and help with circulation, poor circulation in general. Yeah, but that's not its major use. The major use is building more muscle mass and building libido and just building more testosterone in general. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is used to calm vata or jitteriness, and helps the urogenital system, and it's a good diuretic also, which is nice. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's also a good liver tonic, which, again, another good liver tonic, they said. And it can also be help with overeating a little bit. I don't see it too much, but a little bit. It helps with the urinary tract infections. And it can boost up the immune system, which is a really good thing. And it also helps to get rid of kind of allergic reactions in the body, and especially can help with psoriasis and eczema and rashes of the skin in general. The roots are used in making Tribulus terrestris, and they are dried, and when the puncture vines pulled up, they wash them, they let them dry in the air, then they are ground into powder, and then you made into capsules. And most people take it as a capsule. It's a bit bitter. And it can be made into teas and also into tinctures by putting in the roots in the alcohol and letting it, diffuse out into the alcohol, something like vodka. It can also be found as creams and jellies for external use. And the normal dose for most people is somewhere between 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams daily. But I also recommend that you only take it for about 7 to 10 days on any herb, because it's just a good idea not to keep on taking herbs over and over and over again. I recommend 7 to 10 days, and then taking 7 to 10 days off, 7 days off, and then coming back to it again. It also has been used a lot in combination with like maca, and some people use it in combination with ginseng, and others use it in combination with ashwagandha. I recommend that if you have an enlarged prostate or prostate disease, you shouldn't use it, because it can, more testosterone is going to make the prostate a little bit bigger, so I don't recommend it for that. It's not for women who have had cancer, breast cancer or uterine cancer, and in general, I don't recommend it for pregnant women or women who are breastfeeding or children in general. But it's a great herb, especially for men who are, have that testosterone levels coming down and they're not feeding like themselves. And together with a whole foods plant-based diet, this is a really good way to go, because the whole foods plant-based diet is going to get rid of the prostate disease, because, dairy products or animal protein in general cause prostate problem. And if we were to go to a more plant-based diet, we'd have a lot of our diseases disappear. And we'd have, heart disease disappear, we'd have diabetes disappear, and we'd see our rates of cancer go way down, especially if we're eating lots of organic produce, and that would really help. And one thing I found with studying lots and lots and lots of cultures that live to be 100 years or older is that only one thing in their diet is the same, and that's eating legumes or beans. Any kind of beans. I don't care if they're lentils or they're could be black beans, it could be pinto beans, could be, pink beans, I don't care what they are. Or even soybeans, In a couple of the cultures, they eat a lot of soybeans and live to be over 100 years old. And so it's important to get those beans into our diet. And a lot of people, it's going to give me gas, but no, if you eat enough of them over time, you start building up the enzymes to break down the beans, and that doesn't happen anymore. And I really love, particularly me, I love garbanzos and making my own type of hummus, which doesn't have a lot of oils added to it, and using a lot of garlic. It's wonderful. Now, we use a lot of pink beans here, actually, too. And I make, in fact, my wife says I make a really mean batch of Puerto Rican beans. So eat those beans. They're really good for you. And I've been talking to a lot of people, and they say, my mother used to eat a lot of beans, and she lived to be 120. And it was like, wow, amazing. I think they're the life-giving food. I love you.